Yeah, it's on record mode now. Let me present the screen. So these are the photographs of the deep hole drilling machines. This is how the deep hole drill will look like, which we discussed last time. BTI is again a deep hole drilling process. There is a difference between BTA drilling and gun drilling. BTA drilling is faster. BTA drilling has coolant around the tool head. It is effective in holes 20 to 200 millimeter and so on. So we had stopped here last time. These are the types of the drilling machines. It is portable drilling machine, sensitive drilling machine, upright drilling machine, etc. etc. Now we'll discuss one by one. This is the portable drilling machine which you are already familiar. Portable drilling machine means it can be carried from one place to other place easily. So the main concern about this that it has to be lightweight. The weight should be light because whole day the operator or the worker will be using this, so it should not be laborious. Now portable drilling machines can be wired, that is it can have electrical supply or it can be battery operated. Mostly portable drilling machines are battery operated so that it can be carried anywhere and drilling can be done. Battery operated में limitations is that recharging of the battery, that is once you charge it will work for around 3 to 4 hours, so after 4 hours again you need to recharge it. The another disadvantage of portable drilling machine is that it has limitation on drilling, that is it cannot accommodate more than 12 mm. So basically it is used for smaller holes or smaller sizes. This is sensitive drilling machine. So this is accurate machine, and generally sensitive drilling machine doesn't have auto feed, so the drilling is done manually. The features of sensitive drilling machine is it can be used for drilling small holes and in lighter job and at higher speeds. So it can drill holes from 1.5 to 15.5. It can be used even for drilling small holes of this size, that is 0.35, 0.5 comfortably. This is how sensitive drilling machine will look like, and obviously as you can see that it is used for lighter jobs because the weight of the workpiece will be carried on this table and this table is locked. If the components or if the workpiece is heavy, then you can loosen this table clamp, take this table away, and workpiece can be mounted directly on this base. So the heavier component also can be accommodated. This is your box column section, upright drilling machine. The column is like a box. That's why it is called as the box column section, upright drilling machines. And it can be used for drilling up to 2 inch capacity. When I say 2 inch, that means you can drill directly 2 inch in steel, that is in MS. Direct first drill can be used of 2 inch size. And why it is called as upright? Because the column is vertical. So that's why it is called as the upright drilling machine. So the capacity of the upright drilling machine is up to 50 mm. Again, the component can be mounted on this table, or component can be or the workpiece can be mounted on this base. This is another photograph of upright drilling machine. This looks like your column type drilling machines. Again, if the components are or the workpiece is heavy, can be directly mounted on this base. This is a lifting arrangement, that is rack and pinion arrangement. This is called the rack, which is mounted on the column, and the pinion is mounted on this hand wheel. So once you rotate this hand wheel, the pinion will rotate, and then the table will move up and down on this rack. This is a photograph of radial drilling machine. As I told earlier, radial drilling machines can be used up to 3 inch drilling directly in mild steel. This is a radial arm. This is a column on which this radial arm can move up and down. This is the most important machine, and radial drilling machine is most common in all the workshops. This radial arm can be swung radially, and this drill head can be moved in this direction, and drill can be moved up and down. So this is your one axis, this is another axis, and this radial axis is third one. This is a circular table. Like suppose if you want to drill many holes at definite angles, then this rotary table can be rotated at different angles, and drilling can be done easily. So in that case, you don't have to move this drill head. Okay. This is the advantage. That is, you don't have to move this drill head. Only keep on rotating this rotary table. All the drilling machines are specified by the size of the hole, or the maximum size of the hole which can be drilled. And of course, there are other specifications like what is the maximum size of the workpiece it can accommodate, how much is this drilling radius, what is the height, what is the weight, what is the HP of the motor, and so on. But the most important specification is the size of the drill that it can drill in milestone. Up and down movement of this radial arm, up and down movement of this radial arm can be motorized. Motorized means auto, because radial drilling machines are heavy duty machines. Radial drilling machines are heavy duty machines, and manually, if you try to lift this radial arm, then it will be very laborious. So the lifting, that is up and down movement of the radial arm, is always motorized. This is the sketch which you can draw for the examination. Like, this is the elevating screw, this is the guide base, this is the drill head, this is called as a quill. This is a table which is directly mounted on the base. Now the table is designed in such a way that component can be mounted from all the four sides as well as from the top. So these T slots are provided not only on the top, but T slots are provided also on the sides. With the help of this handle, this spindle can be moved up and down. There is a provision of auto feed also. This is a column on which this radial arm can be moved up and down, as well as it can swing, and then you need to lock at a particular position where the drilling is to be carried out. As I said, up and down movement can be motorized, so for that elevating screw is provided. So minimum 3 to 4 motors will be there for radial drilling machine, that is one motor for elevating screw, another motor for spindle rotation, then one coolant motor, then fourth will be lubrication motors. This is a photograph of the radial drilling machine. This is a motor for the spindle, that is spindle will rotate, and through this motor only the auto feed can be engaged or disengaged. So there is no separate motor for auto feed of the spindle. These are called the universal drilling machine or semi-universal drilling machine. Why? Because this arm can be swelled around this plane. Like, you can see this swell base. So this arm can be swelled along this plane, and semi-universal means this radial arm can be swelled in one plane, whereas in universal the radial arm can be swelled in both the planes. So drilling at any angle, that is at any complex workpiece, suppose if there is a degree in two directions, can be drilled easily. So this is what is your semi-universal drill drilling machine is. That is, the drill head can be swung about horizontal axis only in one plane. Whereas in see, this is a photograph in which you can clearly see how the head is swelled. Now, this is a photograph of universal radial drilling machine because look carefully. That is, this drill head can be swelled across this face as well as can be swelled across this also. Okay, so one swelling is along this axis and another swelling is along this axis. This is a bigger size radial drilling machine of 3-inch capacity, and in the photograph it is shown that how to lift the drilling machine. So this rope is used for lifting the drilling machine. Again, in radial drilling machine there are various types, that is plain radial drilling machine, semi-universal machine and universal machine. So as I said, in universal machine the arm can be swung in two planes. In semi-universal the arm can be swung only in one plane. Whereas in plain radial drilling machine the radial arm cannot be swelled. This is for the gang drilling machine. Gang means there are more than one person. So similarly, in case of gang drilling machine, the number of drills are more than one. So that's why it is called as the gang drilling machine. So here, one, two, three, four. So four drills are taking place simultaneously. That's why it is called as the gang drilling machine. This is another type of gang drilling machine. So obviously, this is used for mass production. On the drilling machine, you can do drilling, you can do boring, you can do countersinking. All this I have already shown. Reaming is nothing but the finishing the drill hole, because in case of drill, you don't get proper finish and size. So if you want accurate, if you want good finish, and if you want precise size, then you have to go for reaming. The standard reamers are available, and reaming will always give you the size in H7 tolerance. This is counter boring operations. And this is what is your tapping is. This is for the rotary multi-station drilling and tapping machine, a purely SPM special purpose machine used for particular component only. That is, in these machines, look, that is drillings can be done on the periphery, and there are so many drilling spindles, one, two, three, four. This is come under the category of special purpose machine. So from the examination point of view, drilling machines may, what are the different operations that can be performed on drilling machine, what are the type of the drilling machine, then what are the specification, important specification of the drilling machine. These are the questions which are important. Any doubt? Raghav, are you there? Hello, Mr. Raghav.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. If you have any doubt, you please feel free to ask. These images I have already shown. Videos also I have shown. So the drilling is done. So we have done with the drilling. We are done with the lathe. We are done with the drilling operations. These MP notes also I have told you. Now drilling is followed by the boring. So first I will show you the images. How does the boring machine look like? So the most important is boring is nothing but enlarging the hole. Like suppose if you want to do a hole size of say 36.78, so you will not have that drill available. Standard drill 36.78. That is first thing. Second thing is even if you make this standard drill, you will not get good finish or accuracy because in drilling machine the size of the drill hole will be always rough, and not only the rough size, you will not get correct size, that is 36.78. It will be always oversized, 36.9. So in this case, in order to achieve this size, that is say 36.78, what we do, we drill up to 36 and then we enlarge with the help of the boring bars. That is enlarging the hole is called as the boring operation. So there are separate machines which are used for boring. Now look at this. The table carries the workpiece, that is workpiece is mounted on this table. This is the spindle. Now spindle is simply supported beam, that is on one side it has this guide and other side it is mounted in the headstock. Now headstock is for changing the different speeds. Now we can understand that first you have to withdraw this spindle, that is this ये जो spindle है उसको ऐसा निकालना है आपको पूरा बार. Then first you have to keep the workpiece on the table. Then you have to pass this spindle through the drilled hole in the workpiece. Then in this spindle there is a tool, boring tool attached. So in case of boring machine, the workpiece will always remain stationary, whereas your spindle will rotate. And this boring tool has a feed mechanism. That is, this boring tool will move across this spindle. Spindle is only rotating only, but this boring tool, which is nothing but a single point tool, will move across the drilled hole and will do the boring. Now there is a provision that this boring tool can be moved in and out as per the size of the bore. So the desired size of the bore can be achieved. So what we do, we first take this boring tool out and we take a cut on the face. We measure the size. If the size is less, then we again take this tool out, again take a cut, check the size, and once the size is perfect, then only you start with the boring operation. So what are the different motions? You have this boring spindle which can be rotated, and you have this boring tool which can be moved across. Then what happens, suppose if you have different sizes of the workpiece, so for that you have another movement, that is this completely headstock, and this guide can be moved up and down, can be moved up and down, so that it can adjust the different height of the workpiece and different position of the holes. Like suppose now in this case, suppose the hole position is at 100 mm. Another workpiece may have at 200 mm. So that is possible because this headstock and this guide can be taken up and down. So this is a typical boring machine, and this is called as the horizontal boring machine because now boring is done in horizontal direction. Boring is done in horizontal direction. This is a sketch because you cannot represent, you cannot draw photographs. So this is a sketch. This is the spindle on which the boring tool is mounted. This is a workpiece, and now this boring tool is set as per this bore, and it can be moved to and fro. These are the guide bush. These are the guide bush which is used for guiding the boring bar. In this sketch, it looks like it is convex, but that is actually the effect of scanning. It is 100% straight and horizontal, and the feed mechanism is given to this boring tool so that this boring tool can move across this boring bar. So this one is called as a boring fixture. This is your workpieces. This is how a boring tool will look like. So boring tool, this is a cutting edge or a cutting point, and this tool, boring tool, goes inside the hole of the boring bar, and this entire boring tool can be moved in and out so that the size can be adjusted. Size of the bore can be adjusted. This is called the floor type horizontal boring machine. This is called the floor type horizontal boring machine. Why it is called the floor type horizontal boring machine? Because this is your floor, this is the level of the floor, and the workpiece is mounted directly on the floor. So that's why it is called the floor type horizontal boring machine. This is the spindle which is moved in and out, and this is a guide for the spindle, and this complete spindle head and this guide can be moved up and down. As the workpiece can be mounted on the floor, this machine is meant only for the heavy workpieces, big housings, rubber mixing mills, sugar mixing mills, dyeing plants. So there they have big housings, so that big housings can be directly kept on the floor. This is again a sketch of the horizontal boring machine, which you can see carefully, and this can be reproduced in the examination. So you have a boring bar. So this is what is your boring bar is. Look at this cursors. On this boring bar, this boring tool is mounted. Now this boring tool can be moved in and out as per the size of the bore. This is what is called the boring head, which can move across the bore of the workpiece. And obviously it will be a auto feed. So boring bar needs support from both the sides. So this is one support, and obviously this is another support which is coming from the headstock. Then remaining are, these are all speed change levers, these are all feed change levers. There is a provision to move this up as well as this up and down, so that it can be adjusted as per the size of the workpiece. So this diagram is important from examination point of view. This is a vertical boring machine. This vertical boring machine is also called as the jig boring machine. So this is the spindle, and at the end of the spindle the boring tool is attached. So this spindle will rotate and it will move up and down. So this is exactly similar to your vertical milling machine. This is exactly similar to your vertical milling machine, but the operation which is performed is boring. It is meant only for boring operation and not for any other. This is your multiple head boring machine. That is, you have one head here, so it can do boring in this direction. You have another head, it can do boring in this direction. That is from this, as well as from this. So that's why it is called as the multiple head boring machine. Any machines you have to first study how the moving mechanisms are. That is, what are the different axes of movement. This is, you have seen already. This is a horizontal boring machine, and this is called as a vertical boring machine. Vertical boring machine is also called as a vertical turret lathe. Now, in this vertical turret lathe, there is a boring bar which is attached vertically, and boring can be performed. Why it is called the vertical turret lathe? Because your workpiece is rotating, workpiece is mounted here on this table, and this is a turret, and this turret is vertical. Now you can mount one, two, three, four, five different tools on this turret. So you can do boring up to 5 sizes, or you can do drilling also, or you can do tapping also, or you can do boring also. So you can have drill here on one face, boring bar on another face, tap in third face, reamer in fourth face, and so on. So the name of this machine is vertical boring machine, or it is also called as the vertical turret lathe. So these were some images. इधर है मेरा presentations. I'll show you in a short. Let me see whether this video can be played or not. This is your vertical cylinder boring machine. This is your vertical cylinder boring machine. This is the cylinder, this is the engine, and this is a cylinder. This is a motor. Maneklal is again a reputed brand. These are the bellows. This is the spindle to which this boring tool is attached, and this is how your boring takes place. First, you have to do the settings. Settings may you have to bring this boring tool exactly at the center of this hole. Then you have to lock X and Y axis, and boring can be done only in Z axis. This dial is showing the size of the hole which is being bored, and the feed is given to this boring tool, that is in Z axis. So see, if this is X axis, this is Y axis. He is now doing the setting, that is he is bringing the boring tool exactly in the center. See, now it is not moving, that means the boring tool is exactly in the center of the hole. Now he is setting the size of the hole, that is he will bring this he will bring this tool which is attached to this boring bar, that is what is the size of the hole that is to be bored. So as per that, he will set the tool. So this is the boring tool, this is the boring bar, and this is the dial. Like suppose if I want to set 50 dia bore, so 50.00 will be shown at 0. So anything less than 0 or more than 0 will indicate the size. Like suppose if the tool is set at 0, that means the size of the bore will be 50.00. If it is on the left hand side or if it is on the right hand side, that means the size is not correct. And this is what he is doing. See, now he will move this boring bar. See, now this he has moved this boring bar. The tip of the boring tool is touched to this dial indicator. That means the correct size of the bore has been set. Now you are ready to cut. So setup में First step is you have to align the center of this boring bar with the center of this hole, and then second is you have to set the size properly. That is step 2. Then you have to give the feed in vertical direction. Any vibrations will be shown on that dial indicator. This material is cast iron. Normally the cylinder heads, they are all made up of cast iron only. Hello? Yeah, somebody is asking. Anybody is asking? No. Anybody has doubt? Now the boring is done. The boring bar has been lifted up. So this was the operation of your boring machine. The weightage for this boring machine is maximum 4 marks, 2 to 4 marks. No doubt you can do drilling, milling and facing on this boring machine, but typically boring machine has to be done only for the boring operation only. And boring machines are of two types: horizontal boring machine and vertical boring machine. So this is the setup for the horizontal boring machine, which has been shown to you already, this figure. Again I will tell you, this is the boring bar, this is the boring head. On the boring head the boring tool is mounted, and this boring tool, it moves, that is the feed is given to the boring tool. This is a photograph of horizontal boring machine. Here the boring bar is mounted, which goes through the workpiece. This is of course a table on which your workpiece is mounted. This is your vertical boring machine. Now there are two heads. So boring bar will be mounted here. One boring bar here, another boring bar here. And you can do two bores simultaneously. So this is used when there is mass production for improving the productivity. This is what is your vertical boring machine, or it is also called as the vertical turret lathe. If you remember, I had shown this photograph while I was teaching lathe. So this is a huge component, a big component, and this size has to be bored. So this is a tool here. Now look at this photograph. This operator is checking the size of the hole to be bored. He's checking the size of the hole to be bored. This is a vernier caliper. Normally the bores are checked with the help of the dial indicators. These are the different operations which can be done on boring machine, but it is always advisable to do only boring machine, only boring operation. Like you can do flat machining. You can do this turning operation, that is external turning outside. This is a boring by a tool head for which the machine is meant for, and here boring is done by the boring bar. You can also do cutting off and necking operation, cutting off like this, and necking. Necking means like a kind of a growing only, but if the groove depth is more, then it is called as the necking. You can also do forming operation, like suppose if you want to do this radius forming operation, then that is also possible on vertical boring machine. See, this is what is your boring bar is. Remember, this is what is your boring bar is. But now the design of the boring bar is changed. That you can mount a cutting off tool, you can mount a forming tool. You can also do taper boring. This is the biggest advantage of the boring machine. Now the boring bar here is at an angle, so the taper boring is also possible. Not only taper boring, you can also do taper turning also. Like only you have to change the inclination of the boring bar, and here again you have to change the inclination of the head. Make sure that once this taper is done, then you have to bring this spindle straight. Again you have to carry the alignment, proper alignment. Precision boring machines are called as the jig boring machines. Jig boring machines are used uh, where the precision is more, that is the center distance, that is distance between the two holes is precise. Then you go for precision boring. As well as when the size of the bore is important, that time you go for the precision boring machine. And remember, the precision boring machine is called as the jig boring machines. Jig boring machine. So the difference between jig boring machine and normal vertical boring machine is that jig boring machines are only meant for doing boring operation. The bearings, the bearings, the construction of the jig boring machines are done with very high degree of discipline. The bearings which are used are very high quality. The beds are of high quality. And vertical boring machines can be used for other purposes like this cutting off and netting, forming operations, paper turning, paper boring, etc. etc. Okay, so since the weightage of this boring is only 2 to 4 marks maximum, questions which can be used is again what are the different operations that can be performed on boring machines? How do you specify the boring machines? The important specification is what is the maximum size that can be bored, and what are the drivers, that is X, Y, and Z. That are the two important specifications of the boring machines. So specifications, that will, what are the specification means, it can be asked for the 2 marks. What are the different operations means 3 to 4 marks. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you please ask. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello? Yeah, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.